5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is the Matrix?
Start me from the top, man.
Maybe it's the weed got me. Maybe it's these trees got me. Maybe it's these hoes got me. Maybe it's this stroll that got me. Maybe it's these clothes got me. Maybe it's these laws got me. Maybe it's my dogs got me. Maybe it's these bras got me. Maybe it's this man that got me. Maybe it's my clan that got me. Maybe it's my fam that got me. My plans, my plans. The Matrix, Matrix.
When I wake up in the morning, I wake up in the morning, putting my read in my Bible paper. Lord, I can see them later. Middle finger up, always screaming, fuck a hater. Chewing on them suckers like annihilator. No hip hop, this ain't rock and roll. This is real music, pop lock your soul. All aboard! It is time to hop aboard my spaceship, because you are now tuned into what is the Matrix TV. I'd like to thank all my guests for coming in today. We're going to start it off. We're going to talk about weather modification, all these hurricanes always going on. Does the government have technology like HARP, CERN, chemtrails? Do they have technology to spray in the clouds? The tunnels, y'all. We're going to have to talk about those tunnels. I know y'all remember those Jewish tunnels, y'all, popping out like the Ninja Turtles. We're going to talk about the LA tunnels as well. And with the Ninja Turtles as far as reptilians and beings underground. We're going to talk about the lizard tunnels of Hollywood, Killmonger, and the technology in the movie Black Panther. And once again, Riverside County, Riverside, California, leaking the secret tunnels all together, a worldwide network, cities underground. And then we're also going to talk about how Drew Hill, the video, these are the times we all wish for. That video was filmed at the Mission Inn. And if you watch that video, they were dressed like Moors. And then we're going to get into the Mission Inn Catacombs. Yes, we are. And then we'll end it talking about that Jamie Foxx movie, Day Shift. Watch it. It talked about the tunnels underground Hollywood and how there were temples and sacrifices. So we have some multiple guests this week. We're going to get into it. We're going to start with a commercial. I'm Jason Elm Street Williams. You're tuned into What is the Matrix, the hottest show on the planet.
Now we're making this ascension back out. Breeze for this, some of this air get kissed by rock.
That's right.
Let's keep going. Go.
So let them know what's up, brother. What are we doing right now? The world wants to know.
Man, we walking out this tomb, the tomb of Sneferu, our great ancestor. We just invoke this spirit when you call upon an ancestor's name, that is to make them live again. And that's what we're doing. Ancestors living through us, the children, the original children of this land. We coming back. Bless.
That's right. You see, it's a journey, y'all. So I said, intelligent beings.
You got that hole, boy. Look at that.
See it. Here we go.
Look at that. You gotta get that light when they get out that hole, bro.
I'm gonna get it. You see that, y'all? You see it? Let's keep going. That's how far we come so far.
Got your wind up and don't got no heart.
Oh, man.
You don't need no business in this tunnel.
That's right. Oh, shit, we got a minute. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Almost got it.
Yes, sir. Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to sit down for a second. Alright. Y'all can see any further down. It's crazy, man. I'm almost out. There we go. Let's go, baby. Look here.
Right there, y'all. So right there, you see me underground, miles deep in the Sneferu Pyramid. So evidence right there that our ancestors have been building in the underground long before the so-called Europeans arrived. So these cities that we talk about are all underground. But first, let's talk about the weather. You know, we have Hurricane Milton. They said that it's the strangest or the strongest storm on the planet. But how is it that these hurricanes are hitting certain places of the Gulf, right where the Seminoles landed, right where the Moors landed, when we learn about Haiti? So let's bring on our guest, Lana the Goddess.
Hi.
Peace, Goddess. How you doing?
Peace. I'm doing well. I'm staying cool out here in California.
So what do you feel with the government and weather modification? Do you feel that the government has technology to change the weather, whether it's HARP, CERN, or chemtrails? Do you have any stories of that?
Absolutely. I actually like to follow, like, what's going on in the cosmos, what's going on with the sun. And according to my research, seems like there's multiple earthquakes out here in Riverside County, San Bernardino County area. And it could be from the geomagnetic storms that are happening at the sun. So what do you think? You think that could be?
You know, we were talking about last week with the two moons coming in. I haven't been able to see them. The comet passing by.
Yes.
So I know years ago I used to hear booms underground a lot. And I did more investigation, and they say those are bunkers. Those are them building underground tunnels. So we're by the San Andreas Fault. So possibly they're messing with the fault lines of that nature. Do you have a picture, Murdoch, of the weather modification? So right there, y'all, look. Cloud seeding is a weather modification process where silver iodide boosts precipitation, thereby causing rain. So right there, you see how they can shoot pellets into the clouds to create clouds, droplets, and precipitation right there. So it's not a conspiracy anymore. Our government knows how to change and alter the weather. So who's really in control? So let's get to the, go ahead.
Do you think that it's a combination, though, of like nature's naturally fighting back against what the government is trying to do as well? So it's actually literally a war against nature versus fake nature.
Definitely agree. The movie where Aquaman talks about that, you know, part 2, to where the surface dwellers versus those underneath the ocean. You know, so definitely I agree, because when we look at some of the names for hurricanes, they have particular names. And then always I say the islands, even though I know it's in the middle of the ocean. To me, Haiti always gets hit for a certain reason because of voodoo magic and hoodoo. Going on what you were speaking on, they say that in Haiti, they use voodoo and they were able to control the weather, control the insects and animals. And that's the only time that Napoleon said that he regrets going to war with was Haiti. So that's interesting. And then also for me, the mud floods. I just got a new book called The Secret History of Human Resets, the Great Mud Flood of 1835, the 1587 plasma event, the biblical flood, and other historical reset theories. So when we go and look at those ancient sites that we've been to, Some of them look like they've been blasted with some type of advanced weaponry. And then even I was talking to my Christian brother, and he was talking about the technology in the Bible. So for those who are religious, I'm going to ask the question to those viewing: did God have technology? Did the God of the Bible have weather modification technology? Because think about it. He said that he was able to raise the land from the waters. He was able to create different diseases. So would that be a form of weather modification?
That's a good question.
And we see somebody just tapped in. Are you there, brother? So I guess not.
Peace. Yep. Yeah. It's me.
How you doing, God?
I'm doing good.
So you see some of the topics we were talking about right now, weather modification. We're going to get into the Jewish tunnels and all that. What do you feel about, do you feel that a lot of this is nature, like Goddess Lana is saying, that Mother Nature with all the oil spills and all the chemicals going on in the electro?
Wait, state your
5G.
name and where you're from.
There you go.
Yeah. My name's Larry Daniels. I come from Macon, Georgia.
Peace, God.
Peace.
So what's good with you? Macon, Georgia was where Dr. Malachi Z. York had his property, correct?
Most definitely.
Were you able to go on the property? Were you too young, old? How was that?
I was too young, but I know about the place. It's pretty dope.
Can you let some of the, I know this is off topic, but this is the beauty of the show. For those who don't know, one of the greatest, for me personally, master teachers, this brother comes from the land where they actually built pyramids, and let the brother speak. But this is one of the goals, what I want to do with What is the Matrix. I want land, and I want to be able to build our structures, have our own schools, our own cities and businesses, so we can live in peace and practice our culture. So what do you feel about that, brother? What are some of the things that you heard in Macon, Georgia about that?
Well, it's really not much, but I do know about the indigenous history behind Macon
Okay.
from yeah, like from many people from the Creeks to Cherokee, all that stuff.
I hear you, brother. So what do you have to add to the show today, brother? I'm happy you called in.
Yeah, not much. Just tapping in right now.
Okay.
I want to know how you're doing. Isn't Georgia? I don't know if it was Macon or Atlanta, but didn't they have some kind of like chemical explosion that happened out there not that long ago?
Yeah, I heard about that. That shit
Okay.
was wild.
Yeah. So you weren't affected by it.
No, I wasn't affected by it.
Okay. Did you see any of the chemicals in the air or?
Yeah, I saw it on a post not too long ago. Like it was green and red shit going up on the sky, and I was like, damn.
What do you think that is?
Yeah, it must be like some type of processed chemical
Yeah.
and it just broke out.
Yeah. So chemicals, that's what something we can't see but spreads.
It
Even though
says
it's over there.
it was a plant that blew up.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah,
a
it was
gas
plant.
station too. It was like 3 places that had an explosion. So it was like, all ironically around the same day and same time in Atlanta.
Interesting. I'm watching the show The Penguin on HBO, and they were showing the third episode how they strategically blew up certain things and created floods and just destroyed some of the city. So let's get into that. Let's get into the pictures of those Jewish tunnels, Murdoch. Let's get this show rolling. And so, like you guys saw me with the when I was in Egypt, same thing here. Us as Moors and Moors, we as far as high, as far as above, so it's below. So right here, the secret Jewish tunnels found in NYC. So what were they doing in there? I should have had a video prepared for y'all. But if y'all can remember, if you see this picture, how did that not become nonstop headline news when there's millions of kids missing and millions of people missing, and we always hear rumors of these tunnels? Why is it that P. Diddy is taking the fall for these tunnels and not these people right here? And then let's go, you know, secret Jewish tunnels, Teenage Mutant Ninja Jews. What is that about? You know, why did they create a movie about reptiles, intelligent reptiles living in the sewers, y'all? Think about it. They're showing you in the movies about whether it's extraterrestrials, them using mutant genetic engineering to create different beings. The question is, what are they eating? What are these called reptilian, lizard, draconian beings eating that we can document throughout time? This isn't a conspiracy theory when we study ancient civilizations and they speak of the same thing. And that's what's being revealed for me when it comes to the media. It's the fall of Hollywood. It's the fall of the program, and those in control are those who we just showed right there. Let's
Those Jews, that picture though, they look like the Matrix, don't they? Look
go back to it.
Yeah, don't they look like the guys from the Matrix when you watch the movie?
Those are the guys who supposedly stole it from Sophia Stewart. Because they don't have, you know, they don't have culture, y'all. When you go into their museums, they have to make up whether they were there or not dinosaurs. When you go into major museums, the coolest stuff is indigenous culture. So now when you go into museums, their museums, it's usually just pictures. It's boring because they have to go around the world stealing other cultures, but in particularly America hiding the ancient cultures. So that's why for me that they create these mud floods and all these different things is to wash away history. And those who we just showed in control run Hollywood. They run the education system. Therefore, a small group of Europeans dictate the majority of the planet's mind. If someone can control the education system and force parents to push their kids to go to school, and these people, as we know, were racist, used to hang brothers from trees, would we expect them to tell us the truth about who we are as a people?
And rape our children and women. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then in Hollywood, right here, I have a book from the Riverside Library called Hollywood Babylon. I'm going to show you guys a picture of how Hollywood used to look before they tore it down. Look at that, y'all. You see that Babylonian, Sumerian? You see those devices? You might see the Tree of Life. You see Anunnaki. That's all Hollywood. This is the first movie that they filmed in Hollywood. They said it was a set. And that's what they do, y'all. They went around the world destroying the monuments of America. And so we're going to get to these underground tunnels and once again, destruction. So they'll make it look. So they'll say a fire happened, an earthquake happened, or it was a exposition. So I want everybody to start studying the world fairs and the expositions. And we have a guest on. Brother Jesus.
Peace.
Peace, God. How you doing, King?
Oh, man, all is well. I'm just glad to be here. You know, I actually was out and about. It was divine timing. I walked through the door and seen the message. It was like, okay, yeah, let me just hop right on deck.
Y'all, this brother, CRIP Jesus, wrote a magnificent book. It's called The Blue Bible. Go check it out. Why don't you tell them
I
about
got my copy.
Tell them about your book, God.
Oh, much appreciation. Yes, that's my book, you know, handmade by me and everything. You know what I mean? We about to go to Amazon. We're not even there yet. So y'all can tap in with me directly. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, The Black Illuminati, THEBLACKILLUMINATI. And no, we're not talking about Diddy and them. We here to reveal the secrets being held by the other side. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm glad to have my brother Jason with me, Elm Street. You know, we in this Black Illuminati journey together. The Matrix University, you know, it's all one family.
Peace, God. So well, let's stay on topic now because we can go deep in. So right now, we already discussed the weather modification, the Jewish tunnels. I don't know if you remember that. That kind of disappeared. And once again, the tunnels are popping up again. The tunnel talk, human trafficking. I was telling people that when the underground cities, when they said, oh, we would put the hookers in the alcohol. So the Europeans are admitting that they were drug smuggling and human trafficking underneath those tunnels. Yeah. So if they can place it once again on a brother, you already know. But let's stay on topic. Murdoch, can you put in sneaking into those LA tunnels before we get to the lizard tunnels? And we talked about the lizard tunnels back in 2009, y'all. But once again, it's all coming back again.
Yeah, facts.
Well, that's the Jamie Foxx movie right here. There's a movie. You can go to that. You can go to that. You can keep that one. It's the same thing. So there's a movie called, I believe, Daylight or Day something. It's with Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg. And in the movie, they're getting chased basically by vampires, and vampires run Hollywood. But basically, there's a serum now, kind of like Blade talked about, to where they can become daywalkers. So they show you that they still live in these tunnels, but also in the movie, underneath these Hollywood tunnels, they go to an Olmec temple, y'all. So they show you in these movies that the tunnels all throughout America are still active. And so now, once again, it starts coming into Middle Earth. Who took over these tunnels? Because clearly the Moors and Moors and indigenous people built these tunnels. Clearly we had technology to build these tunnels. So where do these tunnels lead to? Is this where the human trafficking, the human sacrificing is taking place? Because when we study Hollywood, we got to start studying Corey Feldman, start studying the so-called pale-skinned Europeans, the so-called white boys that are saying this. Fuck Diddy and all that shit. He needs to, you already know. But let's get to the whole point of it all, is that those controlling the planet are using basically ancient magic to control the world. But the underworld, there's an underworld underneath all of these buildings in America. Can anybody there tap on it?
Sneaking into secret tunnels.
Oh, my bad. My mic was mute. I would like to add on the fact that, you know, this is a real problem. And sometimes it can overwhelm people to where they're just kind of like, I'm going to close my eyes and click my heels and hope it goes away. But what we have to understand is this has been going on even amongst our people for a while. And that's why we have to get a lid on it. It's an energy that's foul. You hear them talking about Montezuma. So out here in these lands that we on right here, that was already a problem if the reports are true, that Montezuma and even his predecessors were big into the human sacrificing, right? Well, actually, if you understand the history there, that was how we had such an easy downfall here. It wasn't so much that we were so weak or they were so swift with their tactics. It's that the Aztec Empire was already you know what I mean? It wasn't stable because a lot of the nations up under them didn't like how much human sacrificing they were into. They were making people, give up their kids a lot if the reports are true. So, why am I bringing it up? Because it proves that there's a network for this that's been around for thousands of years, not just decades, not just for the last couple hundred years. It's a network for this. You know what I mean? There's people whose grandparents were getting kids. You know what I mean? And kidnapping.
The Bible speaks of that, right? Wasn't it Abraham pimping and was going to kill his son and sacrifice him to God?
Yeah. I'll even go this far. When I was doing some research, right, and actually just like reading different reports, especially dealing with white slavery, they call what we call kidnapping. They called it spiriting, meaning that we could be reading something and coming across this and don't realize what we're reading. You know what I'm saying? They spirited him away. The spirit brought me away. But everywhere where they're using that word, they're talking about kidnapping, right? So what I realized is basically over 2/3 of the original so-called white population, Caucasian population, was kidnapped from different places, right? And this is in their writings if you understand the wording they're using. So I say all that to say it's a very big problem. It's not far-fetched when people be thinking, oh, what's the chances of this bowling alley or this pizza restaurant having anything to do with that? It is
Talk about it, because if you
it
look
is right in your
at
face.
pizza back in the
It's
day,
organizations that have been there.
the pizza parlors had an underground basement as well, y'all.
What about Arby's? Arby's, nobody's ever eaten, like, who eats there, but it's still in existence. Arby's, you know, that I've never eat there, but it's still in existence. Some of these restaurants that you see that are still up that no one really eats at, you wonder like what they have going on there.
Because certain
Question.
people, certain codes, like that's why it's imperative to learn ancient codes, just like they show you in the movies, like vampires and stuff. For me, they exist. So start looking at the wording of these restaurants and even logos. It'll look like a word, but it'll say something else. And really it's speaking in code. So they'll know what restaurant to go to get human flesh, baby flesh, and things of that, different types of meat. So you're absolutely correct. It still goes on. I remember watching documentaries of so-called those of the Jewish community saying that they sacrifice babies and put them in McDonald's and things of that nature. Because when we look at it, they sacrifice the cow deity in this country. And when you go to other countries, Hathor, when you guys study ancient Kemet or Egypt, Hathor is a deity, the cow. Moo, coincidentally, California is called Moo before, the floods and things of that nature. Lemuria, the cow. So
Murrieta, California was.
Oh, and I've been studying, y'all. Thank you, goddess. I've been
Murrieta.
studying Riverside County. We're gonna prove it. And me and CRIP Jesus. Riverside County sits on top of an ancient Atlantean Moorish civilization. Like I said, we can prove it. Now they have the largest petroglyphs found in North America are in Riverside County. We can go to the Coachella Valley, the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea is right next to Mecca. So the more we start digging into our Moorish and so-called Black Indian heritage, we find ourselves here in California. So let's keep digging.
I have to piggyback on something really quick. As far as the tunnels, I gotta talk to the goddesses, and to the fellas out there, the guys that are going out there getting this fake hair. But it came to me right before this live, right, Jason? I said, what if, I like putting weaves and braids in my hair, fake hair, right? But when we put that fake hair in our hair, it actually is messing up our frequency, so we can't really get messages from the heavens like we're supposed to, because that hair is blocking the frequency. But imagine if that hair came from those kids that are in those tunnels, because I'm like, yo, I've been going to the beauty supply for a long time, and there's just massive amounts of hair. You can't tell me that everyone from India is supporting all that and supplying all that. So we got to think, because that hair holds a frequency. So if I go to the store and I'm buying hair that could potentially be coming from these kids that are being sex trafficked, because they're going to make their money still too, right? Now I'm getting that hair braided into my hair, and I'm now attaching that frequency, which is a frequency of fear, the frequency of violation. And now you're walking around in the streets feeling this and not even knowing why.
You also speak of that with the diet as well.
So yeah, with the food.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because whatever that animal is experiencing before it got sacrificed, you are now going to feel that same frequency. Hence the reason it's imperative that if we're the ones feeding our families, we have to be able to study and understand this information, because we're the ones, we're going to kill our family if we don't. And fellas, you're out there cooking for your family too. So it's not just the women that need to know. We need to unify and all need to be on the same page when it comes to this health journey.
Throw up that lizard tunnel, Hollywood. I agree, sister. That was a crazy, interesting perspective. And
that's actually like in Islam, that's the meaning of eating like halal or haram. You know how they have like kosher. So halal meat, because they allow like beef, red meat. It's a lot of meats that people are not into that are allowed, right? But what it is it has to do with the way that the meat is not so much prepared, because that has to do with like how you cook it. That's part of it, but the way it's put to rest, if you will. You get what I'm saying? How we were talking about the frequency that happens. If it's put to rest, like when you just got a room full of cows and we're just knocking their heads and shooting them and all that. A lot of our meat is made that way, to where even if it's grown, quote unquote, you know, in a proper manner, the frequency there is horrible. So halal, even though some of this halal meat probably isn't halal, but that's another conversation. But
let's get
halal
to
meat,
the lizard tunnels too. Link it up to the lizard tunnels, because that's what Murdoch's making us stay on topic.
No, you're good. But which picture is the lizard tunnels?
It's article.
Oh, the article. Okay.
So right here, y'all, possibly these tunnels once again are connected to the human trafficking, human sacrificing, like Brother CRIP Jesus was saying, possible also indigenous cultures. For me, the blood sacrificing, there's two different stories of the bloodletting, and then also to me to the draconian reptiles. And Dr. York speaks of some of the indigenous cultures misrepresenting the bloodletting and all that. So I would like to get into more of that. What do you feel with that, Brother CRIP Jesus, with the bloodletting, them offering, like when I can open up a Mesoamerican artwork and it'll show them sacrificing to a reptile. So it's interesting that that's still a topic when we look at the Mesoamerican petroglyphs, human sacrificing, and that, because they said the Olmecs weren't human sacrificing, but the Aztecs started. So could that have been when the Asiatics, or the so-called Mongoloids, came in and took our bloodletting in a different way? Because we know that there were different classes of Aztecs, Mayans, in indigenous cultures. Can you expand on that?
You saying when did the Aztecs adapt these tunnels?
Well, that and the human sacrificing you were speaking of. So, y'all, it says Goldfield Tunnel legend didn't pan out. It speaks of over 270 tunnels found underneath Los Angeles. In 1964, they began discovering caverns downtown by using X-rays and advanced downing rods. They speak of the Hopi Indians, 3000 BC, a highly advanced race of lizard people that lived on the Pacific coast and lived in underground cities in Mount Shasta, Los Angeles, in different caverns. So studying Riverside, I used to read books, and they would show walking lizards. When we would travel, someone needs to turn off their mic. But when we would travel, we would see petroglyphs of lizard people on rocks. And so now that I'm wiser in the matrix, it just plugs in, because for me, I would say that we are the reptilians, that us as melanated people, we are the extraterrestrial reptilians. And after nuclear warfare, after them chopping down trees, damming up the water, changing our diet, the color of our skin changed from more of a greenish color to this copper tone. And so that's why I would say we are the green extraterrestrial aliens. And that's why we look different than everybody else. And for me, that's what I'm searching for, searching a way to get home, to find the mothercraft, to find the mothership, enough people thinking on similar frequencies to activate a reality that I feel is right in front of us, just like the movie Black Panther. Let's show Killmonger real quick, because I feel that they have a lot of the advanced technology inside of our museums, in underground bunkers. So in the movie Black Panther, y'all, do y'all remember this scene? And look at, there's African deities all around there. So for me, I said they're showing us that they have all of our ancient weapons, our technology, a lot of the times in the museums. And when you go to a museum, it goes underground and it looks like an ancient temple, because it is. Does anybody want to expand on ancient technology? Since we're speaking of Black Panthers, Moors and Moors, Black Indians, underground tunnels.
Well, sticking to the underground tunnel, like you were saying, we're dealing with a lot of natural technology. This is what people are not used to understanding. You know, we're used to wires being connected, a lot of manual, analog type of connection. So when you're dealing with a natural technology, there's a lot going on that you might not even see going on right in your face. You feel what I'm saying? So, like you said, we go in these places and they build these museums where they build them for a reason. These are sometimes areas is when you're dealing with their position within the universe. They could be acting in a way of a portal. They could be in position over a point, a center that was in a civilization before. So there's a lot of energies that have been there, a lot of different bodies, a lot of different other. Well, back to natural technology. So let's say I have some sacred geometry in an area. It doesn't not activate if I'm not there. You get what I'm saying? So the thing about natural energy and natural technology is once you kind of set it in motion, unless it's fully destroyed, it still is, the energy's still there. So when you're dealing with civilizations prior to us that have natural technology there's things going on in specific locations that we're not aware of based on our knowledge. So they'll build there, and they'll even build a museum there, and they'll even do something as crafty as this. Maybe we want to guard what's under here, but we don't want to cause any attention. So we're going to put a museum right here and let everybody come to the museum and look at it because what we're hiding is underneath it. You know what I mean? Who would think it's something underneath here, right? We're showing everybody everything that's here. So it's a lot of like in your face tactics like that as well, for sure. And like I said, when you're dealing with certain locations, that's power sources, portals, this is a way to designate them, right? So you'll
Murdoch,
claim
can you
you're
put
this
up that
type
military pitch article while we're on that topic? The Hemet tunnels being found in Riverside County. I'm listening, brother.
Yeah, so let's say they designated, they nationalize it, like they nationalize a park area, or they designate an area historically. You know what I mean? It's delicate. You can't mess with it. This has to do. It's a historical site, like they did with the Grand Canyon. They find these areas and they designate them just for the purpose of controlling them. You know what I mean?
I want to know. You mentioned about the portals. When you say portal, like where exactly do you think those portals will lead to?
Well, that's the beauty of it. It depends on the location. You know what I mean? Location is very delicate, meaning that because we're talking about natural technology, right? So
go back to that picture, Murdoch.
So what I would say is that
underground military.
The first thing we're going to think of, because we're looking at what's right in front of us in the 2D, 3D dimension, is the location in reference to us, to the Earth. But if we look at every location on the Earth as a point in the universe itself, within the whole continuum of the universe, depending on where you are on the Earth and what method of technology you're using, I can't tell you where you may be going, because there for sure is, way more knowledge of those, that level of traveling beyond what I've delved into. I'll even go this far and say, you have mountains that are ancient tree stumps. Maybe ancient's not the right word to use. I would say petrified, right?
Mm-hmm.
This that was in the wood. It was wood at first. Now it's rock or earth, but really all of that's earth. You see what I'm saying? So you may have something there that's like a portal, and that's grown. And if these people have these maps where they can show them that, and they know where to build and what they're doing, it could even be something as easy as right in your face, like a civilization right under the ground, like we were talking about.
Well, let's get to it. We're showing that there's a underground military complex and government testing facility discovered under Hemet, y'all. And where is Hemet? Riverside County. And what rhymes with Hemet or goes with Hemet? Kemet. So once again, we find Kemet, Lake Elsinore, Mecca, Blythe, Sun City, Corona, Hayrupa, in the Nile Riverside, which is the Santa Ana River and the Colorado River, some of the longest rivers in the country. So right here, when we say, for me, it's fascinating. Underground facility found underneath, and I don't know if we're able to go down, Murdoch, on the article, but I could read it. I have it here. It talks about at a time, let's see. The tunnel networks were discovered by employees and contractors preparing for this year's biennial air show, Airfest 2016, Thunder Over the Empire, scheduled for April 16th. And so we believe that the tunnels were used sometime after the conclusion of World War II or before the Cold War, explained the discovery. It's a vast network of underground tunnels, supply warehouses, World War II era planes and vehicles and ammunition deposits, as well as research center testing facilities, y'all.
Wow.
Right here. So, and then if it was this article, I wanted to say it led to LA, but before I say that out loud, I'll wait. But it also said, yes, some suggested ways because there's railroads, there's different railroad systems out here in Riverside County that are shut down. They said it became part of an underground subway system connecting to Moreno Valley with Hemet and San Jacinto for supposedly future underground housing and even tourist attractions. Come on, y'all.
Wait,
yes.
Tourist attractions down underground?
In the underground.
So you can set up you can contact your okay.
This is much we can learn from this underground facility, a virtual time capsule and window into our area's past as associates with World War II in the Cold Era. All portions of the facility are expected to be open to the public or government use in 1 year of this discovery. So right here, you see it. So I'm reading the article of what we had on the screen. So we have one of the world's largest military bases, y'all. It's called March Air Force Base. And that's where they flew in COVID, by the way. And that's where, yes, they flew in COVID to the March Air Force Base in coronavirus, March Air Force Base, Riverside County. Obama, when the presidents come here, they land at the Air Force Base. They go through a tunnel and they go to the Mission Inn. Ask anybody from Riverside who knows what's up. So the Mission Inn connects to Mount Rubidoux. And what is my so-called theory? Mount Rubidoux is a pyramid complex that was blown up because whenever they put a cross on top of a mountain, that was a pyramid complex.
There's a cross right here where I'm at. Literally, there's a mound right here outside my window, and it has a cross on there. And ever since you told me that, everywhere I go, I see these mounds with crosses on them. And then it'll look like it has a driveway that goes in a circular motion. And then you'll kind of see like stuff growing, like trees that just started growing out. Oh,
because this was Riverside County was beachfront property. Ross Perot ran for president in the 90s and would say that about Palm Springs. That's why he was invested in Palm Springs. We used to find seashells arrowheads, obsidian. Some of the world's largest deposits of obsidian is found in Riverside County, y'all.
That's probably what that Glen Ivy place is, where they have the hot springs. Where
that's why the world, the rich Riverside, look it up. Riverside was once the wealthiest, richest city in the world, and the wealthiest city per capita in America. And so people all over the world would come here because of the water. The water underneath the ground has healing properties. And that's why they have the Murrieta Springs. Come to Murrieta, y'all. And then they have casinos back here too.
Yeah.
So it comes to the so-called, what they're going to say, the Black Indians, the Aboriginals, and this is when it comes to the nationalities, and because it's all here. That's why they have the Tupac hologram where in Riverside County at Coachella. Hello, they murdered Marilyn Monroe, JFK in Palm Springs because the alien talk. And watch the movie Mac and Me. It's the offshoot of E.T. It's a so-called bootleg version of E.T., but it took place in Riverside County, y'all. It was about an extraterrestrial running loose. Even Dr. Malachi Z. York talked about it. So my theory is, once again, I can prove it that this is an ancient Atlantean civilization. I can start pulling out books. So this is where my investigation is leading us to, is that Southern California is a hotbed of underground tunnels that lead all across the country. And whether it was for human sacrificing, leading to Middle Earth, it's there. So now it's the talk of what's inside of the earth, y'all, because something is happening. So the sister Lana, the goddess, was speaking of the solar flares. What possibly the beings from under the water are getting upset. The oceans are polluted. The 5G is being polluted. They're exploding nuclear things. And then the whole Israel, they're trying to create a reality by murder, because to me it's bloodshed. There's something about bloodshed, and I've been studying the Olmecs. I may not be right with this, y'all, but when I see them bloodletting and cutting themselves, and then I compare it to other cultures, there's a show called American Gods, and they say that the European had to shed blood to build his empire. So maybe this planet, like when you study like the Coptics and the Gnostics, they say that this planet is a demiurge. This is like hell, and like a demon runs this place. And so it gets to interesting mythologies, y'all, but it also gets to, like Brother CRIP Jesus said, advanced technology, not just with possibly machines. So there's something called crystal technology that we built upon. But what pictures do we have? Oh, Drew, Riverside County Courthouse. That's what we're getting to. So the tunnels, y'all. Watch this picture. So last week I showed y'all downtown Riverside. This is the Riverside County Courthouse in the 1900s, y'all. So this is the 1800s, right? And look how it's a dirt road. You notice how it's a dirt road? How did a group of people build that on dirt roads when at that time that type of technology wasn't available? So for me, this is once again proof that when so-called pale-skinned Europeans came amongst the land, they refurbished our old world buildings. This is the old matrix. And to them, it's the new matrix, because they were in Europe in cold, even though they had castles and things of that nature. When we talk about the Moors, which I'm going to show you a picture of soon. So right here, I was in the Riverside County Courthouse with my goddess, and a lot of people didn't believe me. So I took her, and the lady told me to stop taking pictures. And the bailiff came, and he basically said, what were you trying to do? And I was like, there's tunnels underneath here. And he said, you're right. He showed me and my goddess and the little one a Moorish mosaic in the Riverside County Courthouse. And he said they found it when they were trying to find air conditioning aqueducts. And there's tunnels that lead from the Riverside County Courthouse to the jail, to Mission Inn, to Mount Rubidoux, and now we know the Air Force Base, and now we just learned about Hemet. So we learned that something, why if the military base is out here like that, extraterrestrial, them hiding something to me to where they know where the mothership's going to land, that they're ready for war. Because who are they ready for? Who are they preparing for out here? So that's the things. And we got about 10 minutes, so we will start wrapping it up. So I want to show you guys Drew Hill. Show that picture. And I want you guys to go watch this music video because it's going to connect so many things to this episode with building in the underground, MOORs and MOORs. These are the times we all wish for.
That was filmed at the Mission Inn?
Filmed at the Mission Inn.
Wow, I did not know that.
My friend's dad was LAPD and did security there. So, yes, they filmed that video. And I always wondered, like, why did they do that? It's because the Moors.
Wow.
That's the Moorish Castle. The Mission Inn is a refurbished Moorish castle that goes underground. And we can prove it. Why? Because there's rumors, it's ended now, but there were rumors of catacombs all throughout the city. And I can tell people that we used to find caves and entrances off of Victoria and La Sierra and stuff back in the orange groves and lead to different parts of the city when we were kids that are now sealed up. Facts. And I can show you them. And there would be people with computers and shit under there. Be like, what are you doing in here? This is when this was all dirt roads and stuff back in the day. So Mission Inn Catacombs, sneak peek. The rumors are no longer rumors. The conspiracies are no longer conspiracies. The Mission Inn has catacombs, y'all. So once again, Moors we built and MOORs we built underground, leading to inner earth, leading to different tunnel systems, leading to different cities all throughout the planet. So the Mission Inn Catacombs lead to where? Mount Rubidoux, which to me is a pyramid complex. And someone said that that's now a bunker. So that means that they, as always, they raided the bunkers. And so once again, when you visit Riverside, start looking at the Moorish architecture, start looking at the castle, start observing the domes, and start noticing the Christian cross. Well, actually, it's our cross. Those are our symbols.
I wanted to say too, when you was talking about the underground, see the level of technology, and it's no coincidence that it was World War II type equipment. So remember they did Operation Paperclip over here after
they
World
brought
War
in
II,
the Nazis.
where they brought in all these German scientists, German engineers, German
They lied. So they lied to the public.
Aerospace
cloning facilities. There's Patton Hospital, the Odd Fellows. Keep going.
So they would bring them, and what happens is at that point, you know, they of course they can't put it out there what they're doing. So a lot of these people were given automatically NASA jobs, engineer jobs, military positions. So think about it, like, why would you have equipment from that time period all the way now? So these are facilities that were set up at this certain time period. You get what I'm saying? And they've been there since, up to whatever they're up to. And you really see a lot
preparation. They've made it then for preparation for.
I don't think it's preparation. They're doing what they're doing now. They're doing their experiments and grabbing. Oh, okay. It's more of a they cloned Tyrone type of vibe. I'll say.
There
I
you
think
go.
it's already going on.
And that's why I was showing you everyone the Jamie Foxx, because those movies around that time, he was coming out with these underground type of conscious movies. And, you know, they say what they say about that brother right now, but it's very interesting that you say the clone Tyrone, because they said that they were doing experiments in those facilities. So it's still active. What do you feel about that when you say?
I would say that for me, what stood out, like I said, me being up on Operation Paperclip, I'm not surprised of them doing experiments or having a laboratory somewhere. I think that what stands out to me that I think everyone needs to take notice to is that this was in Hemet, which is not nowhere near, you know, the activity of a LA or San Diego. However, this is a known California city. This is not just anywhere. So they had these facilities. They're in the cities, and if you can hide this in Hemet, you can for sure hide this in somewhere like easy, like San Francisco or Oakland or Sacramento. So these facilities are all around, and I would even go as far as to say it's time for people to stop being so dependent on the machine at this point, because now it's getting obvious. Now it's getting to the point where they're like testing us. Like, I'm just gonna put it right in front of you, see what you say. Okay, desensitize you to the point of just full-fledged cattle status, sheep status. We're almost there. Because you got to think about it like this. We are, when I say ancestor, I'm not talking about thousands of years ago. So our great grandparents were fighting these people. You feel what I'm saying? Not scared to go up and get on one of these. I'm gonna excuse my, but yeah. So right now, that's not the case at all with us. The state we're in right now, as far as in general. I'm not saying any specific person, but as a whole. So the whole point of programs like this is just to open the eyes and get us back to a point of at least letting go of the machine so much. A lot of us are so worried about, I'm ready to go to war and burn it down. It's like, that's their energy. And that's all you're ready to do is perpetuate that same energy you've been taught. But even after you burn it down, what are we going to do?
Exactly. And that's what we don't want.
We got to get in touch with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, because that's where we're at this point,
We have to, because like I said, when I went to Africa and I was like, and came back, I said, people don't want that. You don't want when those lights come off and like they said, the toilet paper, that'll be one of the least of your words. You can use clothes, but when a Rouse is shut down, when the trucks are shut down and there's no food coming into the cities because they control the food through the grocery stores, because there's not too many farms anymore. Not too many people have enough food in their backyard. So absolutely, this is time to unify through knowledge and information. That's the goal. What I'm trying my best to do, to erase the color line. We're going to start wrapping it up, but there's a book I'm reading by Teddy. It's called Teddy and Booker T, How American Icons Blaze a Path for Racial Equality. And Booker T. Washington, coincidentally, has a bus in front of the Mission Inn. Out of all people, why do they have Booker T. Washington in front of the Mission Inn? Because he was here building with Frank Miller and Teddy Roosevelt. So we'll study that next episode, and then we'll link it up to George Washington Carver and the Tuskegee, for us having our own institutes and our own organizations, so we can base our education systems off of our culture, so we can be self-sufficient again. So anything you want to leave us with, Lana and Crip Jesus, before I say goodbye to the audience? And
I get so emotional. You guys are so smart. I swear. Like, I have my pen and paper. I always ready to take notes, because it's like, seriously, I didn't listen to history class. And when I listen to you guys, I'm like mind blown. This stuff is right in front of us. So hopefully we can just open our eyes. And ladies, goddesses, gods, we got to unify and stick together. Find your tribe and grow and build. Okay, our kids are counting on us.
Peace, brother. Kaval Snot 56 Power Man. Much love, God. Please tune in next time, please.
Yes.
And brother Crip Jesus, leave us with something.
Peace, divine family. Thank you for having me, brother. Like I said, just tap in with me, y'all. The Black Illuminati, THEBLACKILLUMINATI. If you allow me, brother, I'll leave you with a link or something where they can catch up with me. And
always,
I've been building the circle up real close right now. About to get a new website, but in the meantime, I've been giving out my number, so I'll leave all that with you. And just tap in with me direct, y'all. It's this beautiful thing. I love talking to the people directly, hearing y'all problems, hearing y'all joys and goals, and really building this community up. Because when they pull the plug, that's all we're gonna have is each other.
Yeah.
So peace.
Yeah. Peace, y'all. Once again, Jason visits a museum. It's about imagination, erasing the color lines, knowledge, and history. New animation series on thematrix.com. Check it out, and you can get the book on Amazon and the website. The first book, Jason Wins the Games, talking about my battles and victories with ADD and attention deficit hyper disorder and overcoming Ritalin and all that crazy cool stuff for kids and parents who do have students and children who do have attention deficit disorder and had to take Ritalin. It honestly is a great book to show them a great example that they can make it. And last but not least, I'll show you guys this and we're going to be out. The new animation series, check it out, The Matrix University. And like I always teach, we're in a video game, a Matrix hologram, a simulation, intelligently designed. For me, I'm on a quest to activate these, they say ancient advanced civilizations, but I would say a lot of these pyramid structures, they're still here. So that frequency is still here, y'all. And some of us are tapping into it. So learn to tap into that infinite ether and start pulling down from the infinite library. And let's start coming together, unifying. But first and foremost, always remember, people who look like me did not come here from Africa as slaves via pale-skinned Europeans. The majority of us were already here. And we're going to prove it through literature and anthropology. And like I always leave you guys with another book, America 1492, Portrait of a Continent. I have to show y'all this. The musicians, who do you see? The musicians and singers.
Exactly.
Straighten it up right there, y'all. This is the Mayans. This is a book from the Riverside County Library. Musicians and singers. I'll show you one last page before we get out of here. Prove y'all something. Get it real quick. So anything about your Black Indian book while I find this last, and here we go.
Oh, that's my new one. It's dropping this week, The Black Indian Wars. You know, I'm so excited about that. I don't even want to say nothing until I got it in my hand. I'm real mad at the book printing place right now. I'm for sure going to Amazon after this.
Okay.
I'm all ready to fight.
And here we go, y'all.
People waiting. They like, oh, you know, we
Geez,
I said, y'all supposed to have that done on Friday, man. So it'd be done any day now. The Black Indian Wars.
And we're ending with this: from sages to warriors, the Maya, the Aztec and Inca empires. And what does it say right here, y'all? It says Piedras Negras. So right there, they're admitting that the classic Maya, and it says that the stela, where this stela was erected once every 20 years to represent the end of regular periods of, what's that say, the Mayan calendar. So right there, you see it. So Jason Elm Street Williams, master of the universe. We are the original Mesoamericans, and that's why it's key for us to take our students and children out of this colonizer's school system, because it's been proven that there is a school to prison pipeline. And why is it that? It's because the culture that so-called Black and African-American students are learning does not relate to them. And when the culture does not relate to the student body itself, those students fail. So what the Matrix University is building is an education system built on Indigenous Aboriginal education, starting with a virtual reality campus coming soon. The Matrix University, Jason Elm Street Williams, July, August, September, October, November. There's going to be more blood sacrifices before the end of the year, because you got to remember they have to feed the beast. So right before Halloween, you're going to see some things happen. And then that's when it starts, y'all. The holidays start. Halloween representing the spiritual realm, celebrate your ancestors. Then they have the November, break bread with your family. And then the Christmas, the stars, and all that. So we'll break all that down, y'all. What is the Matrix TV? Jason, the Messiah has returned. You're living in a video game. Peace.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is the Matrix?
Start me from the top, man. Maybe it's the weed got me. Maybe it's these trees got me. Maybe it's these hoes got me. Maybe it's this stroll that got me. Maybe it's these clothes got me. Maybe it's these laws got me. Maybe it's my dogs got me. Maybe it's these bras got me. Maybe it's this man that got me. Maybe it's my clan that got me. Maybe it's my fam that got me. My plans, my plans. The Matrix, Matrix.
When I wake up in the morning, I wake up in the morning, putting my read in my Bible paper. Lord, I can see them later. Middle finger up, always screaming, fuck a hater. Chewing on them suckers like annihilator. No hip hop, this ain't rock and roll. This is real music, pop lock your soul.
Welcome to the world-famous King Tut Museum. Be sure to respect the ancient relics. The ancient Egyptians were a magical people who built numerous beautiful, magnificent structures, like the world-famous pyramids and temples. No running inside. Scientists till this very day still do not know how the Egyptians built the pyramids.
I wonder, did aliens ever visit ancient Egypt?
Wow, look at that giant Egyptian statue. It looks just like you, Jason.
Thanks, Toby. You're a super cool friend. Imagine what the world would look like if I was the pharaoh.
Jason, you are daydreaming. Wake up.
Sorry, history got away from me.